Hello friends, it's Prajwal Pathak this side and watching my YouTube channel PyGuru. Friends, this is the third tutorial in the series filing in Python. In the previous tutorial, we learned how can we create folders, how can we list the content of a directory, and how can we fetch file informations. Moving further, in this tutorial, we'll learn how to search files using Python. Now there are a number of ways to search Python files in Python. There are some easier ways and there are some more advanced pattern matching ways by which we can use advanced files. Okay, so we'll discuss now four ways in this tutorial. The first one will be string method. It's a simple method that we can use to search for a particular file. And there are some more few advanced matches like fnmatch, Glob and Pathlib module. This will help us to search for advanced pattern matching in files. Okay, so let's see how to do this. See here, uh, inside my folder where I'm currently working, which is searching underscore file.py. This is the file that that is currently open in my Sublime Text 4. Here's a folder that is sample by the name sample, and inside this I have put a number of type of files. Like there are some images, then there's a video, then there are some Python file, then text file, then a PDF, then a music too. Okay, so there are a number of files I have put inside this folder. So what I want to do is I want to search for a few files. So for string matching, we are going to use the OS module. Okay. So how to use OS module? Simply import OS. It's available by default, so you do not have to install it. Okay. All these four modules are available by default. You have to install no one from these. Okay. Then I have created a variable called folder and put the path of this folder. How to put the path? Simply just go inside the folder and copy it from here. Okay, and then paste it here. Remember, replace all the backward slashes with the forward slash. Okay, so now here what I'm going to, I'm first of all going to list all the files inside the sample folder. So how to do this? It's very easy. And to do that, what you have to simply put a for loop for f in os dot list dir. Remember, we have uh, discussed it in the last tutorial. What we can do, we can simply print f. Now this will print all the files located inside the sample folder. So let it get printed. So see, there are a number of files inside this particular sample folder, that is a1.jpg, a2.jpg. There's mp4 file, python file, text file, pdf file, mp3 file. Okay, so there are a number of files. Now suppose that I want to find all the files that starts with a. So see, there are few files that starts with a1.jpg, a2.jpg, a3.png, a4.png, ngvoice.mp4, apple, a skycipher.py. So these are all the files that start with a. Okay, so suppose if I want to search those files, what we can do, we can use string methods. Now we know that there's a string method starts with that we can use if f dot starts with. Now remember, this variable f is nothing but simply a string, that is the thing that is being printed here, a1.pg. It's simply a string, so we can apply a string methods on it. So here we can put if f dot starts with a and then indent, let's indent, and if I now run it, you'll see only those files will be printed with starts with a1.jpg, a2.jpg, a3.png, png, mp4, and here see here a folder is also being printed. There was a folder named apple, but it's also getting printed. So suppose if you do not want to print the folders, what you can do, you can put one more if condition here, that is if os dot path dot is file. And let me do one thing here, let me just put a forward slash. Okay, so here what you have to do, folder plus f, and here we have to put a colon, and let's just indent it. Basically it's a check to see that only those things will get printed which are actually files. Okay, otherwise folders will be printed too. So if I just now run this, see here only those files are being printed, only files are being printed and no folders. Okay, so apple is not getting printed. Now how we did this, we simply use the os.path.isFile method to check for a file. It only returns those things which are file. Okay, similarly there's a is dir method which checks directory. Okay, it will remove all the files and only only return the directory for the folders. Okay, so this is the first way, that is string method, to search for particular file. Now suppose I want to print all those files which ends with .py. So for this, we have another method that is ends with, and here we have to simply pass .py. Okay, so it will only list all those files which ends with .py. See, these are all the Python files that are currently inside the sample folder. Okay, so this is the first way, that is a string method to search for a particular file. So let's move further. We are going to use the second method, that is the fnmatch. To use the fnmatch, we have to import the fnmatch module. Again, it's available by default. You do not have to install it. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to remove all this code, and here the thing is, oops, sorry. Let me just go back. Yes. Let me just remove these two lines. Again, we have to use the OS module for f in os.listDev folder. For if os.path.is file folder plus f, then now we are going to use the fnmatch module. Okay. So how to do this? If fnmatch, this is a module name, and then fnmatch, this is a function inside the fnmatch module, and first you will to pass the file name, which is f in our case, and then suppose I want to search for those files with ends with .txt here, so I'll simply pass .txt, and then finally we will print f. Again, one more thing, here just put an asterisk. Okay, now what does this mean? It means that we do not care about what the name of the file, we only care for extension. If the thing ends with .txt, it should print it. So if I just run this program, you will see all the files which ends with a .txt getting printed. Okay, so this is how you can use the fnmatch to search for a particular file. Similarly, let's say I want to search for files which have back in it. Okay, see, this is a back, back. There are three files which have the word back in it. So what we can do, star back, and then put a star. So if I just now run this, it will print all the files which have the word back in it. See here, these are the files which have the word back in it. Okay, so this is how you can use the fnmatch module to search for files. Okay, I hope you learned this way. Now we'll see how can we search for numbers. See here. Let me just copy this thing. Let me just paste it here. Suppose I do not know the numbers. Let's say you know the naming of a file, naming convention of file. You have saved some files with starts with data, then an underscore, then a number, then underscore, then backup. Now you want to print only those files which have this particular pattern. Okay, there's a number, and so how to search those? First you have to type data underscore, then instead of numbers we are going to use the asterisk, then underscore, then backup.txt. So if I just run this, you will see all those files are getting printed which follow this pattern. Okay, instead of asterisk there will be number. Remember, it's not necessary that this will only print numbers. It can also print alphabet. If there's an alphabet, let's say A here, it will also get printed. Okay, so this is the way how you can use fnmatch to search for a particular file. Similarly, to replace starts with method of the string, you can do something like this: a star.py. So it says a sky cipher.py. Okay, remember in the string method, a was small a was not considered, but in the fnmatch both capital A and small a will be considered. Okay, so here I have searched for a pattern for files which starts with a, have something in between, and ends with .py. So there is only one file that follows this pattern, that is a sky cipher.py. Similarly, if I just remove the extension, now it will print all the files that follows this pattern, which starts with a. Okay, so a1.jpg, a2.jpg, a3.png, a4.png. Okay, so these are all the things that follow this particular pattern. Okay, so this is how you can use the fnmatch module. Now let's move further and let's learn about the glob module, how to use the glob. So for this you have to import the glob module. and here I do not want this, so I'll just simply remove this. Wait a second. So here I have imported a Glob module. So let's say using the Glob module, I want to find all the files which ends with the PDF. Okay, so let's see how can do this. So first, what you have to do, you have to type print and then the Glob module, and inside it we have a Glob function which we can use to find for the particular file. Remember, Glob uses a recursive method to search for a file. Okay, so this is quite beneficial if you want to use search for files. Use the Glob module. Okay, for doing that, it's a simple and faster way to search for a particular file using the pattern matching methods. Okay, so let's say first of all, I want to search for files which ends over with .py. So if I just run this, you will see one thing here. It's returning list file underscore handling.py and searching underscore file.py. Basically, if you do not pass any path, it will search for files in the folder where your currently where Python file is available. Searching underscore file.py. Remember, Glob returns us only the file names. Okay, we do not need to put the condition of whether it is a file or a folder. Okay, so this is it. Now what I want is I want to search for files inside the sample folder. So what you can do, you can simply pass the full path folder, or you can simply pass the sample here. So let's say sample and then slash. If I just run this, now it will print all the Python files which are inside this sample folder. So there should be 5 files, 1 2 3 4 5. Yep, it's working fine. Suppose if you want to search for PDF file, simply search PDF like this. And now if you want to search for mp3 files, you can simply use the this thing mp3. Okay, so this is how you can use the Glob for searching for particular files. Now suppose we want to search for a pattern which follows this search for files which follow this pattern. Asterisk, there is something in the beginning and there is something in the end, but in between there are numbers between 0 to 9. Okay, we want to search for files which follow this pattern. Something in the beginning, something in the end, but there should be a number between 0 to 9 in the in between. Okay, so if I just run this, see here, we'll get files which follow this pattern. So see a1.jpg, there's something in the beginning, something in the end, but there's a number inside. So a2, a3, a4, and angrywas.mp4. Okay, so this 4 is also here, and data1 backup, data2 backup, and something like this. Okay, similarly, if you want to file for files which have an underscore in between, so you can just simply put an underscore here. So we'll get only those files we have which have an underscore. So this is an underscore underscore underscore. So suppose I want to find those files we have a number 0 to 9 and then an following underscore. So see, these are files which have a number and then underscore follows the number. Okay, so this is how you can use the Glob module to search for files. You can also iterate on it. So instead of doing this, you can do something like this for file in glob.glob. This you can simply print file. Okay, so if I just run this, it will name the print something like data1 backup.txt, 2 backup.txt, data3 backup.txt. Okay, so I hope you learned how to use the Glob module to search for patterns in files. Okay, so moving further, we are going to use a final module, that the Pathlib module. Okay, remember, if you want to search for files, always use the Glob. It is easy and it uses a recursive method to search for files. It is faster too. Okay, the final module is Pathlib module, so we are going to use this. Import Pathlib. Let's not do this. Let's do this from Pathlib. Import path. Okay. Import. Similarly, you can you might have imported from Glob. Import Glob from fnmatch. Import fnmatch. Okay. So this is another method of importing modules or methods from modules. Okay. So here, first of all, you have to create an object of Pathlib. So path. Remember, path is a class, and here we have to pass the folder for inside which we want to search for files. The next thing that is we can do is for file in P, again we have a method here that is glob. Okay, inside the Pathlib 2 we have a glob method which we can use, and here you have to pass your pattern. So let's say I have a pattern which follow this print while. So what is your pattern? There's something in the beginning, something in the end, but there's a dot p in between. So if I just run this, it should print few file names. Let it get this. Yep. So these are all the files which follow this pattern. See, .png, .png, .py, .py. Okay, so these are all the things which follow this pattern. There's see this one too. .pdf. Okay, this the thing is getting highlighted due to sublime text mode. There's no error in it. Okay, so this is how you can use the glob method. Pathlib to search for files. Similarly, if you want to search for pattern, which let's say search for files which have a space in between. Okay, so if I just run this, you will see angry walls. There's a space between angry walls, and there's a space between hello world. So only those files are printed which have follow this pattern. Something in the beginning, something in the end, but there's a space in between. Okay, so this is how you can apply patterns to search for particular file. Similarly, if you want to search for uh, this pattern, you want to match this pattern, something in the beginning, something in the end, but there should be set in between. So if I just run this, see there's a I have file isnextset.png which follow this pattern. Okay, so this is how you can apply pattern matching to search for files in Python. I hope you learned something new. If you love this video, leave a like or dislike. In the next tutorial, we'll be learning how can we copy, move, and rename files using Python. Okay. So if you love this video, leave a like or a dislike. Subscribe to this channel. Thank you. See you in the next video.